We're on. We're live again.
We're live.
We're live. Hi, this is the Cult of Brighter Days. My name is Michael, and
I'm Richard.
You're Richard, with a little bit of an echo on the mic, but that's okay because we're still in the process of figuring out how to do this in our spare time, which we have very little of. But do we have? I have very little spare time. How about you, Richard?
Oh, I could probably spare some time. Sure.
Yeah, that's good, I guess, and everything. So this is what do you call that? We have a channel, and this is a show on the channel. Did you say this is a show, a playlist, something like that? But it's called Richard and Michael Play a Game, in which Michael usually plays the game and Richard watches because Richard can't run a computer that can play a decent two-player game. More about that later on when we start our official polls and GoFundMe site. We're going to do something special today. We've been playing Escape the Backroom and the Complex Expedition because we're really into these liminal. I'm really into those liminal space things, and Richard gets drug along for the ride. But what we're going to do right now is I am going to share out with you, Richard, a application and have you look at it. And we are going to go and look at my library of games that I've already purchased. And we're going to find what other programs, what other games would people like to watch us stream, or what other games would people like us to avoid, like the plague? So, as you can see, here we are at Steam, because we're going to look at my Steam library. Got a few things that are not on Steam and everything, but we have a lot of choices here. Largely, most of these have come from, what's that site, Richard, I buy stuff from all the time?
Steam?
Humble Bundle.
Humble Bundle, yeah, that's right.
Humble Bundle. Yeah. And I really need to figure out how to get this so it displays this window a bit better, but we can do that. So here is all my games that we have to play, Richard. All the games. So let's look at how many games I have total. We're going to turn, right now we're only showing the ones that are installed on the computer. So we're going to turn that off, and we're going to go to all the games I have. So I have 1,127 games to play. So remember when you went back in the day, you'd walk into a video store and you'd look at the Super Nintendo area?
Yeah.
And you'd figure out, what games do I want to play in the Super Nintendo world? And you'd look over how many games do they usually have, like 32, 40 games?
I was going to guess 20.
Yeah. And we're like, that's a lot of games to choose from. And then you could only find like 2 or 3 that you like and everything like that. So, being a person who is absolutely crippled by overwhelming choices, thanks to the ADHD and the standard structure of making choices, 1,127 games seems a little excessive.
Yeah, a little bit.
Now, I managed to collect this many games through Humble Bundle, through their monthly subscription, where you get like 12 games, or no, originally used to get like 8 games, then they went to 10 games, then for a few months you went to 12 games, and then they went back down to 8 games. So I think right now you get like 8 games a month for $12. And usually, like, one of the games is usually a pretty expensive one. I remember exactly why I signed up for it. I signed up for it because they came out with this game, Warhammer Total War, which is based on the Warhammer Miniatures game, which the Warhammer's miniature game that, I have like 3 armies for that I haven't painted any of them since I got them back in 1995. And I don't have anybody to play it with, so it doesn't really matter. And I figured, hey, this is a computer version of it that actually plays like it. And so, you know what? I'm going to get that. And I didn't want to spend the $40 it cost because what am I? We say this all the time. What am I?
You're cheap.
Hey, see, you know me too well. And so, being cheap in this case,
Frugal.
Yeah, that's a better term for it. So when I saw this game pop up on this subscription service for $12, with these 7 other games, I didn't even really care about the 7 other games. I just cared about that one game. So I signed up, got my one game, promptly forgot about the 7 other games, and promptly forgot that I had a subscription to the service. Which was like 9 years ago. And I go to Humble Bundle a lot to buy packages and stuff, but and occasionally I'll remember that I have the subscription and I'll go in there and there's like 40 games that I haven't activated yet because none of them were like chomping at the bit to play. But I'll go through and activate them. And so over a period of like 9 years, 8 years, I've managed to accumulate 1,000, again, that number, 1,127 games. Now, let's say I got probably about 96% of those games through the Humble Bundle. Okay, and see, now I'm going to make myself feel bad. Okay, so I got 96% of the games through Humble Bundle subscription. So let's just multiply that by 0.9 to get, it was 1,114. And then we'll divide that by the average number of, say, 9 games per month, just to get an idea. Because it did go from 8 to 10 to, they shuffled it over the years. So that means that I paid for that subscription 112 times. So I multiply that by 12. And I've spent $1,352 on this many games.
So that you could play Warhammer?
Yeah, so I could play Warhammer Total War. The original one. I haven't even got Warhammer Total War 2 or 3 because they cost too much still. And of course, I didn't get any of the downloadable content because that costs too much too. You know how much time I've played on that game too? We can look and we can actually see how much time has Michael spent on that game that he got into the situation where he purchased all these things. Warhammer Total. Now, note, I have Warhammer games from here all the way down to here. So that's a lot of Warhammer games. Except Total War's not listed there. I think it's listed under Total War. Let's see. Total War. So we'll go up to Total War here. Torchlight, Titan, Quest, Total War Warhammer. I have played this game for 20.5 hours. That is the amount of time I've spent on this game. 20.5 hours. Now, let's put that in context with something else, okay? So you probably have never seen this game called Subnautica. And it wouldn't be something to drive for. It's not a co-player game, so it's a single-player game. This game I've played 186 hours. So 20 hours on that one game that I really, really wanted that got me in this whole mess. And 186 hours on this game. Let's see. What's another one that I play all the time that I want you to play with me, but we need to figure out what to do about your computer before we can do that, called Valheim. Where is it? Let's see. Valheim. It's a newer one. I actually bought it for the kid to play with me, but she won't play it with me. But she has a license to it. I played this one for 119 hours. Let's see. I played Wylands for 394 hours. Now remember, Total War, the one that I bought because I really, really wanted to, I played for how many hours?
20.
Yeah.
Plus.
Yeah. 394. Now, here's a funny story about this. Think about this. Okay. So at one point in my life, I said, I'm going to play each of these games for half an hour to see if any of them are good. I don't think that's possible now. I think I've gone past the amount. If I played each of these games for half an hour, I don't think we'd ever get past the A's. But I did find this one game. So while I was doing that, I found this one game called Party Hard. Okay. It's sort of a weird, sick game. You play a serial killer who goes to these parties and has to kill everybody at the parties. But it's all in like in television style graphics, early Nintendo style graphics. So it's not that bad. It's actually more funny than anything else. Totally did not even think about looking at this thing, was doing this thing. I'm going to see if this is worthwhile. Got online, played it, and let's see. I've played it for 12.6 hours. I've played it for over half the time that I spent playing Total War. That was the reason I got it. If you look at the sequel, Party Hard 2, I played that for 18.7 hours.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of games here that, if you look at it, there's like no playtime at all. One of the funny things is that a lot of these games have these achievements, right? You can look at the achievements you got on it and everything. And I was playing one game, and it was like a Japanese horror game where you got chased around a abandoned school by the school nurse or something. I don't remember what it's called, but it was like, whatever. And the first achievement you got was you opened the game. So if you loaded the game up, you got an achievement. And only 33% of the people who purchased the game had achieved that achievement.
So you were amongst the elite.
Yes, I was amongst the elite in terms of achievements. So yeah, I was sort of like, I don't understand it. So the idea here is Escape the Backroom is pretty good. And we got the kid to play with us, and we figured out some stuff. But I don't think I can play that game like every time we play a game, because one, the kid may not be here, and we're playing on her save file. So I have to start over from scratch. And we already saw how terrified I get when I have somebody there with me. I don't think we want me to do it by myself. The other thing is, there's a lot of games I probably should figure out if any of these are any good. Here's Autonauts. I've played Autonauts for 199 hours. Do you know what Autonauts is? Do you know what Autonauts is about?
Is it about driving around the land?
No, it's about process automation.
Oh.
Yes, you actually land on. You have to terraform a planet, and so you land on the planet and you collect resources and you build things like tables and tables and well, not tables. You don't build tables, but you build like what the hell do you build? Well, you have to make colonists, and you have to make the colonists happy, and it hits Maslow's hierarchy of needs, basically. And so you got to provide the colonists Maslow's hierarchy of needs, so it's sort of educational on top of everything. And then what happens is, like, if you're cutting down a tree, you cut down the tree, you have to carry the log over, and then you have to saw the log up, or chop the log up to make planks. And then you have to take the planks and chop them up to make poles. And then you have to use poles to build things. You have to use planks to build things and logs to build things. And if you did it all by yourself, how long would it take you to terraform a whole planet? What do you guess?
Forever. More than your lifetime.
Yeah, more than my real lifetime, probably. And so worse than that, this is not a cooperative game. It's a single player game. So it's not like I can invite my friends like in Stardew Valley, which you're familiar with, Stardew Valley. It's not like I can bring Stardew Valley and have people come in. So you have to build robots and teach them how to do stuff. So you actually build robots and program them. And they have like these programming trees where you have to use like if-then functionalities and everything. And then you build robots to do all the work. And so you develop these processes of cut down a tree, store the lumber, take the lumber, make a plank. Yeah, it's build factories and towns. And you can see it gets pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah. So send goods to other planets? I've never even got that far. I can barely get to houses like that. I don't even think I've had a house like that in my 198 hours I played it.
Oh, transcendence.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is a good example. This is a good example of the fact that I suck at video games, which makes me, again, wonder why we're playing games other than, and 99 hours, and I haven't got anywhere past like, baby colonists because ADHD, I get bored, I move on, things like that. So we have a lot of different choices of games to try and play. And eventually, one of the things we're going to do is start a GoFundMe called Get Richard a Computer that can actually run this stuff. Largely because Richard's computer is not upgradable, because otherwise I'd send him one of the two or both of the GeForce 960 video cards I have, which would work inside there and make it work fine. But he has an all-in-one machine that's not upgradable.
And even open the box.
And what?
I can't even open the box.
Yeah.
They're customer replaceable units.
Right. Hey, I am a Dell technician. I could do that. Is it a Dell?
It is a Dell.
I could do it. I have the tools. I could do it. I did Dell technical work for years. So, one of the things that we should do is we should probably stick with games that align with the core tenets of our cult, that align with the core beliefs of what we're trying to promote, which is chaos, discord, the absurdities of life, and how we can all deal with them instead of just giving up and keeling over. Although lately giving up seems to be a pretty good option on a lot of these things. This is a long video, and this is going to be a long video because it's a heavy thought here, and it's like a let's play, but it's like a 0 session let's play where we talk about what to play. So, Richard, as you're in the seat of just watching, which is sort of like a directly interactive Twitch stream for you, I suspect, is the best way to describe it. So this is sort of like, think of this as like going onto Twitch and searching for something to play, or searching for something to watch somebody play. So what type of game would interest you? I mean, we know we have the liminal stuff, but like I said, the game we're playing has the kid right now. And I did find another liminal one that I wanted to do with another backroom one I want to do, which is multiplayer, which is good because it has scary monsters in that one as well. And although I like scary games and horror games, I do scream like a cheerleader crutching the dashboard when jump scares happen. So you want to try to avoid that. So are you interested in watching some process automation stuff like Astroneer or Autonauts? Are you interested in watching some BattleTech type stuff? Because I have freaking everything in here, so it's probably better if we just actually like looked at categories. So, so a genre. Pick a genre, Richard. Pick a genre.
Let's see.
There's action, adventure, casual, indie, massive multiplayer, racing, RPG, simulation, sports, and strategy. Now, I would like to point out that out of all of these games, Richard, I suck at all of these type of games. Totally suck. So just warning you on that. So it's not going to be like a highly interactive Twitch stream where you see a lot of successful completions of anything.
Okay. Let's take a look at racing.
Really? How many racing games do I have? I have never looked at how many racing games I have, actually. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever looked at any of them. So I've got a game called... Why is it not showing? Okay, so I got a game called Cluster Truck, which basically is driving a truck and using physics to jump on top of other trucks, it looks like. Getting through obstacle courses. It definitely, well, that's not what I want to do. If I full screen it, nobody can see it. I hate that when that does. So, yeah, that looks interesting. I'll give you that. It's interesting. What else do we have? We have Cyberhook, which is, what does that one look like? Well, graphics on it are pretty cool. It looks like it's up my speed with the graphics. It's very Tron-like.
Yeah.
It's a 3D platformer. It's not even really a racing game. I guess it's one of those ones where you have to go through a course and shoot things. I'm gonna warn you. Timed games like that, I tend to really not good at. Desert Child. I don't even know how this is a racing game, but let's see what it says. You're a hungry young hoverbike racer who needs to get off of Earth before it explodes. Hunt bounties, throw races, and do whatever you can to get to Mars and win the Grand Prix. Sounds like a bit more than a racing game. That might be interesting. Yeah. Dirt Rally. That's sort of self-explanatory, don't you think? Yeah. Distance. Let's see what that one looks like. It's an atmospheric racing platformer fusing futuristic arcade racing with parkour. Survive a deadly, mysterious, neon-drenched city by jumping, rotating, and flying. Okay, parkour. I love parkour, but I'm worse at parkour than everything else. F1 Formula 1 2015. Let's look at that one. Race like a champion in F1 2015. A stunning new game engine and all-new broadcast presentation puts you at the heart of the action. Mixed reviews, but I do like F1 racing. That's like the only racing I like to watch other than cycle racing. That would
At least it's got right turns.
Hey, it also has cross-platform multiplayer, so if we ever eventually got you an Xbox or something cheap like that, you could at least play that game if you bought that one with it. So there's an option. And yeah, it has more than left-hand turns, so that's a big win for me. I think NASCAR, the game of left-hand turns, is sort of... Ooh, look, I even have the F1 2019 version, which is even newer.
Does it use the real tracks?
I do believe it does, and I do believe you can purchase additional tracks for it. I went to tell me what downloadable content it had, and it decided not to tell me. So I guess it doesn't have any, but Yeah, Baku City Circuit. Yeah, it's got the real tracks.
Circuit is.
Huh?
I lived in Austin when they decided that they decided they wanted to be an F1 city, so they built the Circuit of the Americas.
Oh. I do have one downloadable content. I have the Anniversary Edition DLC. What does that give us? This is old school F1. The Anniversary Edition comes with 2 classic cars from the 2010 season. I don't know how I feel about calling something a classic car that's 2010. Makes me feel even older. Okay, then there's Golf Gang Science Station, which is it's a racing game, it's a party game, it's the fastest game of mini golf you'll ever play. Blend precision with speed to dominate in an 8-player online mayhem. Yeah, well, we don't play with other players because we suck that bad. So maybe we will. Let's see. Grid 2. That's sort of self-explanatory. It's another racing game. And then Grip. That looks like it's like Grid, but you go upside down. I don't know. Let's see what the video shows. Oh, the car looks pretty cool. Check that out. Oh, it's like hover cars. Yeah. It's like Speed Racer. It's like some form of Speed Racer. Now, mind you, I did like Speed Racer.
Okay.
I mean, Speed Racer was good. I thought that was... Guts and Glory I have played. I played this for 2 hours. Basically, this is a racing game where you drive around and kill everybody, including you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like if you have a baby in the car seat. It's
all kinds of different vehicles.
It's pretty cool. It's also pretty gruesome, as you can see there. A lot of razor blades and things like that. Yeah. I don't know if that'd be... And you can create your own play fields and everything, too. So it's like a toolkit. I think with the kid in the seat of the bicycle is probably the most disturbing, but I did make it quite a way down one road with most of the family in the car. Like, I kept them in the car. I think one of them lost its head, but they did make it there. So that would be a good one for about 10 minutes. Then there's the Horizon Chase Turbo. I think that sort of explains it right there too. Hot Shot Racing, which sort of looks like a Hot Wheels version of those other ones. Very arcadey. It's a fast arcade style racing game. Do you remember racing games? Arcade racing games? Did you ever play those in the arcade? Huh? Richard, you froze up. Did you hear my question?
Yeah.
I said, did you play racing arcade games?
Some, yeah. Hang On. And
now, this one looks interesting, except I'd have to get out my VR headset and I'd have to figure out how to broadcast the VR on the and I think that's a little beyond our retention, right? Our ability right now. We are having a hard time with just doing this much. The fact that we can get a game with the audio recording is like an accomplishment. Achievement unlocked. So does look pretty darn cool though. That's not my mind though, because you can see all those neurons look healthy.
It's definitely visually interesting.
Mad Max. There's Mad Max. That's supposed to be pretty good. My nephew just started playing that on the PlayStation. May contain content inappropriate for children. So play as Mad Max, a reluctant hero and survivor who wants nothing more than to leave the madness behind and find solace. Very positive. I heard it's really, really good. And I do like the Mad Max setting. I haven't watched... Have you watched the new movie that they came out with? Did you watch the new movie that they came out with?
I didn't know. Fury Road?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, here's one that's sort of racing, but not all racing. It's got racing involved in it. I know that. This one you can play. It's got blood, drug references, sex. I don't know, we might have to...
In this room, they're here because they have the only thing that matters to me.
See...
The only thing that should matter to any of us.
See, it says an inadvertent brush with the mob thrust cab driver Tommy Angelo into the world of organized crime. Initially uneasy about falling in with the solitary family, the rewards become too big to ignore. Very positive, though. Definitely probably has racing elements to it. Neon Drive, I played this. I played it for 10 minutes before I think I visually got sick. So we'll move on. I thought, hey, this is neon, so 80s, this is going to be so cool. And then it was like, oh, no, I visually got sick. So Project Cars, I think, let's see, Project Cars 3, this is Project Cars 2. Project Cars 3 has 200 plus elite brand cars on 120 layouts. That's pretty... This one has... delivers the soul of motor racing in the world's most beautiful, authentic, and technically advanced racing game. Until 3 came out. So this was obviously from 2017. That looks really good. You know, the sad part of that is I drive like crap. That those cars like look like they came through a demolition derby, even on a normal racetrack. I think I'd cry if a car that nice got banged up that bad. Remnants of... Now, how in the heck did this get into racing? This doesn't even look like it has any racing to do. With the power granted to him by the dragon hero, will destroy the remnants of Nazith, enchanted fragments of the dragon's body to prevent anyone from exploiting their power for evil. Rush and swing through levels to the top leaderboard in this fast-paced grappling hook. Now, I like grappling hook ones. I think they probably tagged this wrong. I do have it in my library, and it does cost $2.49. So, it does have a very positive review, a score of 429 reviews. So that's not bad. Road Redemption I have played. I've played this for 18 minutes. It was okay. It's sort of Mad Maxy. You just drive around on a motorcycle and beat the snot out of each other with clubs. It actually got pretty boring after a few minutes, so that's why I didn't really get into it too much. The Road to Valhalla.
Okay.
So it's a tiny build game, so it's by the same guys that made the one where you like try to kill everybody you drive. Almost looks like Marble Madness, like a advanced... Remember Marble Madness back in the day? Where you controlled a marble on that 3D environment? It was a game made by Atari. I think it was made by Atari. Looked like it was a combination of Pac-Man. You roll around and pick up stuff.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Marble Madness?
Marble Madness. No, I'm pretty sure not.
It was like the first game it was one of the first games I remember in the arcade that used a trackball, which was pretty cool. Let's see, Rock of Ages 2. Now, I've played this on the PlayStation. and everything. It's it was one of those free ones I got. That was number one. This is number two. So basically, you play a giant rock and roll on top of everybody, something like that. If I remember correctly.
It looks very Monty Python-esque.
Yes, it is. Oh, maybe you have to build defenses against the rock that rolls at you. Again, I'm wondering how this is considered a racing game.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a race against time. It does have 4-player multiplayer. It has improved graphics, physics, and destructible power. Ouch. That elephant. Yeah. Well, it definitely seems interesting. It might be worth a look at. Simple planes. This is actually a pretty interesting one because basically you build planes. Like you build your own planes from scratch. There's 100,000 airplanes already built you can use. Tons of parts. And then once you build them, you can fly them. And if you don't build them right, of course, you can think of how difficult it is to fly them.
Yeah.
It looks like you can even build cars and race them. It definitely, I played it a little bit. I don't think I played it on here. I think I played it on something else. Well, maybe I did. Let's see. Yeah, I played it for 7 minutes. So. Then we have Slipstream. This looks like definitely like a retro arcade game. Yeah. Definitely a retro arcade game. Then we have Speedrunners, which is another one from Tiny Build, who does the weird stuff. Cutthroat multiplayer running game that pits 4 players against each other, locally or online. Run, jump, swing around, and use devious weapons and pickups to knock opponents off screen. One of the most competitive games you'll ever play. I don't know. That definitely doesn't sound like a good plan for me. Yeah. It's not that I'm not competitive. Richard knows I'm very, very competitive. I'm just not good at it. So, Steel Rats. Wreck and ride in a visceral and groundbreaking evolution of the 2.5 action arcade genre, fusing destructive, octane-fueled motorbike combat and death-defying stunt gameplay set in a visually stylized retro future world. You have 4 unique characters that you can wreak havoc with. And then there's Team Racing League. That looks like another multiplayer one. 3-on-3 racing game. It's up to you and your teammates to finish before the opposing team does. Oh, you know what this looks like? This looks like Omega Race. You had a VIC-20, didn't you?
I did have a VIC-20.
Did you ever play Omega Race? It was a vector graphic game where you had a ship like asteroids, and you had to fly around on a racetrack much like this. And other players were racing, and mines would come out, and all sorts of stuff like that. Honestly,
sounds familiar, but it doesn't look familiar.
That one actually looks pretty interesting. Tower Unite. Oh, this is an interesting one because Tower Unite is it's a community-based virtual world party game with online games activity and no microtransactions. So basically, it's like an online space that people can go hang out in and play games. And so obviously one of the games must be a racing game. So yeah. much like most online communities, probably not a lot of people that are fun to hang. You know, I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm old.
Fun to hang with, go hang out in the real world.
Yeah. So what you're saying is it's sort of designed for me because I don't want to go hang out in the real world. I guess we can put on my VR. We can put on a VR headsets and do that later on. Trailmakers is interesting because it's almost like Minecraft, but you build vehicles, but they're very blocky type vehicles, and then you fly around and you can modify the environment. I actually got this one because it did look like it had a very Minecrafty feel to it. And we don't even want to talk about how many hours I spent in Minecraft. Which, if you had a computer, we could just run around in Minecraft and everything. We should see if it could. We should see if it could run on yours. It might run on yours. And then transform mice, which is it's a MMO platformer. So it's a massive multiplayer online platformer about dozens of mice running to bring back the cheese. Okay. So basically you get online with 20,000 other players and get the cheese. It is free, so I guess that's the right price. That's why it wound up in my collection. So there's the racing games, Richard, that I have. And I guess there have been a few that I played out of the collection. I'm surprised, actually. Did you see anything in there that actually caught your eye that you want me to like?
Hot Shot Racing.
Hot Shot Racing? Hot Shot Racing. Okay, so let's see. I don't even, where is that? Oh, Hot Shot Racing. That one caught your eye? Huh. Okay.
Yep.
Well, let's go ahead and star it.
Formula One.
Okay. So now it's in star, so it's in the thing. So we can eventually try that. Might as well install it. Maybe I can actually look, like I know what I'm doing and everything. Okay, so we got a racing game. What's another genre you like? Action, adventure, casual, indie, massive multiplayer racing. If you had a computer that could run Star Trek online, we could play Star Trek online. Maybe you should try to download that. It's free. And then you could have your own starship captain. Because I don't want to be a captain. I was a captain. I suck at being a captain. But I'll be a number one. You should try to get that one. If you can get that one, we could do that. You know that GeForce Now program that I told you to? You can play that. You can play that through GeForce Now. And
cool.
It's free. So you should go online and get that on Steam and then log into GeForce Now and see if that works, because that would be a good one to stream and everything.
Yeah.
So that would be fun.
About every Star Trek series for a while there was advertising Star Trek online.
Yeah, I played it a little bit. I got a guy in there, and Mike, who we used to role play with, he gave me a bunch of stuff for my character. I think he plays on there too. We could even try to get him involved in that one. But what other category do you think? Let's pick like one other one. We got action, adventure, casual, indie, massively multiplayer, racing, RPG, simulation, sports, strategy.
Casual.
Why do you pick the categories I hate the most? It really.
Categories.
Well, no, you're the one that watches. So, okay, so I have no idea what this is, but it's a World War story, and it looks depressing. So we're gonna bypass that. We're Cult of Blighter Ghosts, we're not Cult of war-torn Europe in World War One.
West.
Okay, so we got 140 here. Let's see what this one is. It's a challenging, minimalistic platformer with abstract, colorful graphics. Rhythm awareness is required. Well, that puts me at a disadvantage. To overcome obstacles controlled by an energetic yet melancholic electronic soundtrack. Does sound interesting. I don't know about that rhythm. I've lost my rhythm over the years. 60 parsecs. It's an atomic space age adventure of scavenging and survival. Keep your crew alive and ready for action, make difficult choices, face soup shortages and other horrors of outer space, and maybe reach your destination or not. I don't know how that sounds casual. I mean,
casual nuclear weapons.
Well, no, I'm just saying it seems pretty intense. Like,
yeah,
maybe everybody dies really quickly, and so that's why it's more of a challenge. Because your people go. It does have a very positive rating, though. That one looks interesting. That one I could see trying. Now, 911 operator. I did watch somebody play this. There's a guy online that has a YouTube channel he does called Let's Game It Out, where he plays everything incredibly wrong on purpose. And he did a series of videos on this. I'm afraid that if I played this game, I'd probably make his playthroughs look like somebody competent was working the controllers. So I don't really want to go down that road and steal his audience for being an incompetent player. Abalone. What's this one? Abalone. Discover the new look of the famous strategy. Abalone. Have you played this game?
No.
You push your opponent's marbles off the board. Looks sort of Othello-y, doesn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
I don't know. I think the action, kung fu, fist punch scene doesn't really reflect the actual gameplay. I'm not sure though. Maybe. The Adventure Pals. That's one I got that's fairly new. Adventure Pals, epic adventure platformer fueled by imagination, friendship, and the dark side of hot dogs. Well, there it ties into Discordianism. Your dad has been dad-napped, and you and your pet rock and tongue helicoptering giraffe must fight your way through levels filled with platforming, bizarre enemies, and big bosses to save the world. Okay. Going on down the list. We haven't even got past the A's yet. Do you see how many casual games I have?
Yeah, that's
a lot. I mean, now, here's one. If you do get a computer, and unfortunately the GeForce stuff does not work like this, but they have these games called We Were Here. And I've wanted to play them because basically it's two players in different locations in an environment that have to work together via a radio to solve puzzles and escape. So, like, in one of them, you appear, one person's at one side of the castle and the other is at another side of the castle, and they have to use radios to talk to each other to get out of it. It's a bad situation and everything like that. And all you have is a walkie-talkie to talk to the other person. Now, 3 of my friends have played the game, but I haven't played it at all because I don't really like to play online if I don't know the person, because I've had too many not friendly experiences online with kids. But I do want to try those someday. There's always worms. I guess I have some soundtracks even. Figure that out. This is a new one I just got. The Universism. This one's definitely not casual. I don't know how it winds up in casual. Early access God game, city builder game, colony sim. Oh, look. It looks like everybody just defined this as everything.
Oh.
Anything that comes close to it, it shows up as casual. It looks really good. You start out with a tribe of cavemen, and then you populate the world, and then you try to go out and colonize other worlds. But it does require like some dedication. Universe Sandbox is pretty good, but it's just a sandbox game. You make planets, realistic planets. You build solar systems. You plot courses. You can load up our world and throw an asteroid, our solar system, and throw an asteroid through it and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good simulator, but it's sort of a sandboxy. Maybe like worth looking at for like, one session and seeing, what it's like to destroy everything in existence. 2 Point Hospitals is pretty good. I've wanted to play it. It's a hospital simulator, of course. It's like Sim City, but Sim Hospital.
Right.
It's pretty good, but I haven't played it very long at all. Let's see. What's some other ones? I don't know how that's a casual. It's a simulation game. It boggles my mind how they rate these things. Oh, here's one.
Yeah.
Viscera Cleanup Detail.
So you follow around behind the guys in Doom.
Yeah, pretty much. Except in this one, it's Shadow Warrior. This one I have is Shadow Warrior. So you follow after the guys who's basically doing the Kill Bill scene where she kills everybody in the room. Yeah. So that was what the real person does in the game. Right here. So now what happens is you have to take a mop and clean everything up. See? Pick up the body parts and throw them in the incinerator and try not to get infected with stuff, basic, so that would be for sort of, I'm going to put that on the list anyway. I'm going to put that on a favorite so that we can try that one day for like, half an hour or something, because I don't know, it'd be like a long-term game to play, but it definitely does look pretty decent. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Talisman is listed as a casual game. I guess it sort of is a casual game in terms of the rules, but it takes forever to play a game of it. If you play a whole game of it, it takes forever. Oh, Townscaper's a good one for a casual, sort of. Basically, you click a button and put a town, pieces of a town down. And then you build it out. That's the extent of it right there. You're seeing the extent of the gameplay.
Interesting.
You just build things and make them look pretty. There's no management. There's no like resource management or anything like that. You just make things look cool. It's overwhelmingly positive with 17,000 reviews. I actually paid full price for this one because it's sort of relaxed. Well, sort of relaxing. Yeah, and plus the price of it is, how much was it? $5.99. So it fell within my price range. I'm trying to see if there's any other good ones around here. Tabletop simulators considered casual. Survivalists. See, some of these are like real. I'm trying to find stuff that's like actually casual. Because would you call Stardew Valley casual?
Yeah, I would.
Really? Why would you call that casual? I guess maybe I'm thinking of casual wrong. When I think of casual, I think of like, not going to take very long to play. Very, simple. You can sit down and just wade into it. There's no real challenge. I guess there's not much of a challenge in Stardew Valley because you can just take 25, 30 years to do anything. You laugh, but it's true. I mean, you can do,
Yeah, I've got a character that's up to year 15 or 16 now.
Really? That's sad. You can play co-player on that if you had it on the computer, but no, you only have it on a device.
I only have it on the phone. Jamie got it on the computer.
Well, me and Jamie should do it then. And then you can just watch. Something like that. There's Sid Meier's. Yeah, there's Sid Meier's Railroads. I always love railroad games. For some reason, though, I don't know. Okay, so Sid Meier Railroads is considered casual, but Railroad Tycoon's not considered casual. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I do like railroad games, but for some reason I did not like the newest one that much. There's a lot of Sakura games which are anime style visual novels. You can see the major point of those novels too. I mean, like Sakura Santa, so yeah. Beach. All of these are considered casual, largely because I think they're just there so you can visually enjoy the game, I guess. I don't know. That was a humble bundle purchase that gave me like 20 of those for some reason. I don't know why. Roller Coaster Tycoon's a good one.
Oh, I used to have somewhere. I think I still have the disc that I got from. I think it was Totino's Pizza.
For what? Original Roller Coaster Tycoon?
Roller Coaster Tycoon. Yeah, it was a bunch of scenarios.
Huh.
And I had a good time with it.
Was that for Roller Coaster Tycoon 1?
It was, well, probably. That was quite a while ago. It ran. It was a DOS game, ultimately, that the Windows version I had at the time would handle.
Yeah, that was Roller Coaster 1. This is Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, then I got 2, and then I got 3.
You got, it had a bunch of different scenarios. So you'd you'd start with a amusement park that was already going, but you needed to increase the number of visitors within a certain time frame, or taking over Aunt Sally's amusement park, but you just got very basic stuff you need to expand.
Yeah. The funny thing about these games is that over time, the Roller Coaster Tycoon games themselves didn't really change so much, just the graphics and the physics got better. It's one of those ones where the gameplay stayed almost exactly the same for all 3 versions. That's always a good one to do.
Merry-go-round goes crazy like that one did.
Let's just put the star in that just because. Let's see. There's Mist and Riven, which I would play with you because you might be able to figure this stuff out because I sure as hell can. Seriously, Mist. I played it for like 2 hours and I still didn't figure out like the first puzzle. Maybe I got to the second puzzle and I was like, okay, I'm done with that. Now that I'm on ADHD medication, maybe I can do it better. This one you might be interested in, Red Shirt. In this one, you play a red shirt on a starship, and you do red shirt stuff. And you don't actually go out and do anything. It does that stuff for you. You're playing the what do you do off hours type stuff. So it's a comedy sci-fi sim about social networking aboard a space station. Starring the station's most ambitious low-ranking person, you. Navigate the professional and interpersonal politics of ubiquitous Facebook, as opposed to Facebook, to curry favor among friends and colleagues. You have to go on dates and things like that. It got mixed reviews. I played this one a little bit. How many hours did I play in this one? Played it for 9 hours. I'll put a star in that one because of your Star Trek. This one you would like. This one you'd like, and it probably would play on your computer. Maybe you should get it, and then you can play it, and I can watch. It's a Puzzle Agent, and so it's like a weird Twin Peaksy story. But you go around and solve puzzles, and solving puzzles It's really weird. It's very Twin Peaksy. Fargo. Think of Fargo with puzzles to solve. It's sort of funny, but not really funny. I don't remember who made it. Telltale Games. It's made by the guys who did all the Day of the Tentacle, Sam and Max Hit the Road, and everything. There's Puzzle Agent 1 and Puzzle Agent 2. I'm pretty sure I got those on a... I'll put a star in front of that one. I actually could solve some of those puzzles. That was pretty good. There's Planet Coaster, which was like a really upgraded, amazing version of Roller Coaster Tycoon, but for some reason, I didn't think it was... For some reason, it didn't feel like it played as good as Roller Coaster Tycoon. I was really sort of disappointed in it for some reason. Let's see. There's People Playground, which we looked at and was too...
Oh,
yeah, I don't think we need to see that again. PC Building Simulator. Hey, we could do this and build you a PC this way. I don't think it would actually work for running a game, but I don't know who buys these games. I don't again, that one came with my this was an interesting game, and this definitely was casual. It's called Painters Guild. Basically you play an artist and you paint pictures and sell them. So it's like a business management sim in the Renaissance where you paint pictures. So you hire other painters, you hire models, you have apprentices, people die in your studio. It actually was pretty good for a little game. And it definitely was sort of casual business sim. I'm going to put a star on that one. Let's see what else we got here. Operation. Yeah, this one I can't play until you get a computer because it requires 2 players to play it very well. This one person plays the agent on site doing the physical stuff, and the other agent plays the computer tech person running it in the background to solve stuff. Let's see what other ones we got. The Miskatonic. That was sort of interesting. It's like a casual adventure game. It's sort of strange. Let's see. Labyrinth Dreams, Lara Croft Go, Kona, Jurassic. Not all of these I consider like how would you put it? Like Grid 2? Grid 2 is a racing game. It's not really that casual. Oh, Goat Simulator. It's you can play a goat and you get to run around and be a jackass because goats are just sort of jerks. Note the guy on fire in the background, so gives you an idea of the gameplay. Okay. Well, I think we're gonna have to put a star on that one just in order to fit with the absurdity of everything. Let's see. Galactic Missile Defense. That sounds too combat oriented. Euclidean. That one looked interesting. I do believe this is a VR one though. Yeah, well, it has VR, but it's not only VR. But if we ever figure out how to get the VR stuff working and stream it, that's definitely something we have to do. Of course, we're putting that VR church together for the cult. So, a scapegoat. What the hell is this one?
Before I said it out loud that I really thought it was funny.
This is a puzzle platformer game where you use machinery, the environment, and a friendly mouse to progress through a dungeon with a goat. Okay. I don't know about that one. Scapegoat. There's Eliza. I don't know. Okay, looking at that right away looks too depressing. Moving on. Dreaming Sarah. That looks a little depressing too. Dr. Lancaster, the Tiger, and Terribly Cursed Emerald. Now, this one is supposed to be a lot like the Stanley Parable. So I'm going to put a link in that. This one is Democracy. And I'm going to put a star in here, even though it is so sad and depressing because it's accurate. They really did a lot of research on it. And I think when we get closer to 2024 and we decide that we've just given up on life and everything like that, that's probably about the best time to trade that game, just so we can see how hard it is to keep stuff like this afloat. Let's see, Deadly Days, Dead Rising. And like I said, a lot of these don't seem casually. Construction Simulator. Ooh, look, we can drive Tonka trucks around and build stuff. City Skyline, you might be interested in. Have you heard of City Skyline?
No.
It's like one of the newer versions of SimCity. Super, super popular. Super, super good. City Skyline 2 comes out, which of course we won't ever play because it's full price and it's not going to go down in price for a long time. So, yeah, I'm not going to be buying that. But I do have City Skylines and a bunch of downloadable content. In fact, on Humble Bundle, they've got a pack right now with like 25 different. You know, if I get that pack, I'll give you a copy of City Skylines because it comes with it and I already have it. But I'd want all the downloadable content. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're hitting like we're back up to the A's at least. I don't think there's much more than that. I think that gives us a good chunk of interesting games to look at. I do want to add in one game that I want to do streaming wise, just because it seems like it'd be fun to do streaming wise. Where is it? Honey. Man, I got a lot of. Yeah, I know. I got a lot of games, man. Got a lot of games. Honey, I joined a cult. I'm gonna put a star in that one right there. Okay. Honey, I joined a cult. So, yeah, and this one, I played it a little bit. It definitely is not very accurate to what we're trying to do, but pretty accurate to the 1970s view of what a cult is. So, yeah, definitely worth streaming and everything. So I think that gives us a good list. Let's look at our list real quick, and then we will move on from this for the day. Let's see. Does it have a spot where I can click on favorited? I have to go to my library and then add a shelf and sort by favorite, percentage of achievements, release date, choose a shelf, favorites. There we go. Okay, so for favorites, we have Democracy, Dr. Langus Cove, The Tiger and the Terribly Cursed Emerald, Goat Simulator, Honey, I Joined a Cult, Hot Shot Racing, Painters Guild, Puzzle Agent, Red Shirt, Roller Coaster Tycoon, Valheim, and Shadow Warrior Viscera Cleanup Detail. That sounds like a good little... Oh, I forgot. We got to put on that backroom one too, because the kid will kill us if we don't keep streaming with her.
Yeah.
Which is valid. Plus, I spent the money on it, so I'll put it on there. They did have another. We've played 6 hours. The kids played with us for 2.5 hours. There was another one that we found. There was another game that was similar to it. Where was it? That I found that I really wanted to try as well. And one of the reasons I wanted to try it was because, what was the other? One of the reasons I want to try it is because it had difficulty levels. Escape the Backroom doesn't have difficulty levels, but this other one did. So I was like, oh, it has difficulty levels. I might be able to get past it by myself. Oh, it doesn't even look like it's listed there. That's weird. Oh, is this one Inside the Backrooms? It actually looks visually better than the one we saw. It's not as big, but it's only $6.99, and it's got online co-play, so you can get the kid to play too. But it looked a little bit different than the other one, so that's on the wish list though. Inside the Backrooms on our favorite, Escape the Backrooms on our favorite. So we'll probably have to pick up Escape the Backrooms as the next one, but now we have a list of games that people can look forward to us breaking, screwing up, getting seriously lost on, playing for about 10 minutes and then giving up. I don't see Goat Simulator going into a multi-part, series.
Yeah.
So
in the meantime, I'm downloading Star Trek Online.
Oh, well, that's good. Maybe I'll put that on here too, so we have it on the list. So Star Trek Online, and then we can put up like a list, and we can put up a schedule for when we'll play that stuff and everything. I don't actually have it downloaded. What the heck? Okay, I'll install it here. Okay, there we go. Accept. All right, there we go. So, all right. Well, for Richard and Mike play a game, I think this is a good spot to wrap up. We'll start streaming sort of consistently on playing a game, because I know the kid's been chomping at the bit to get back in the back rooms. I'm not sure whether it's to solve the back rooms or just to torment me, but either way, the kid
seems to revel in both of those things.
the kid seems to revel in it. So I don't mind, because it is quality time spent with the child. So, and they say quality time is better than quantity.
Well,
plus it's like the only thing. It's the only thing the kid will do with me either. So I'm just gonna roll with that too. So high schoolers. That's all I got to say is high schoolers and everything. So we'll get this sort of organized, figure out what to do, start again with Escape the Backrooms. But this was a special edition of what are we going to play? Because there's so many things to play out of the 1,000 games I have, amazingly. So anyway, we will wrap that up here. Do you have anything left to wrap up the playing games? No?
LOZ Fair.
What does that mean?
Let's go do it.
All right. Well, we're not going to play the game right the moment, but we got to do some real stuff. We got to do some real stuff for the channel. Otherwise, people will think that all we do is stream games. Yeah. What was that?
I haven't eaten dinner yet, so.
Well, maybe after dinner we can do some good news, and then later on this week we can do some. Maybe tomorrow. It's my birthday tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we'll do some
Happy birthday.
Backroom stuff. It's not till tomorrow. Don't make me older than I am right now. Let me live in my youth. But we'll go get some dinner, and we'll do some backroom stuff and everything like that. But for now, we're going to wrap up Michael and Richard play a game, special edition. What are we going to play out of that library? Thanks everybody who bothered to listen or like and subscribe, ring the bell, whatever. What do they say? I don't really care if you do or not. We're just doing this for kicks because
smash that like button.
Smash the like. Is it smash the like button? Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Do that.
Well, like I said, it doesn't really matter to us. We're old. We're getting the hang of this. Maybe somebody will realize that we're really bad at this stuff, because you have to be like really good at this stuff for people to watch, or really bad at this stuff for people to watch. And I don't think there's a lot of people our age out there playing games like this and streaming them. I think we're probably the exception to the rule. So we'll just roll with that. I'm sure there are people out there who played Adventure as their first fantasy action game on the Atari 2600 streaming, but I don't think there's a ton of them. So we'll go with that. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. This is Michael. I'm out of here with
Richard. I'm also out of here.
There we go. Have a great night.